The legendary Kwame Pianim, who would have been the NPP's presidential candidate in 1996, but for the Supreme Court ruling against him, which is still being studied by students, the case is entitled Ekwam versus Kwame Pianim. So if you are a young law student, read Ekwam versus Kwame Pianim. It's a major constitutional law issue which brings out the Kelsonite theory and the theory of the legitimacy of military coups. You know that in political science, and Jampo is here, so I'm comfortable talking about it. We talk about legitimacy, political legitimacy, legal legitimacy, popular legitimacy, and all of that. The case of Kwame Pianim really puts this in proper context. Whether or not Kwame Pianim's attempted coup against the PNDC regime was an illegal act, or whether it was a legal act. The Supreme Court settled that matter. They settled it against Kwame Pianim. So Pianim was debarred from running the election of 1996. Since then, he's been a high-profile NPP man. Many people respect him with the kinds of things that he does. He supported Professor Mills's administration because Pianim is really a nationalist, isn't he? Now, today, he called the NPP people, and this is the first time Kwame Pianim had done anything NPP, directly NPP in the last maybe 3 or 4 or 5, 7 years. It appears that he's also worried about the potential fallouts of the NPP's presidential aspirant race and knocking each other's throats and hitting each other's head. Kwame Pianim appeared to have been concerned about it. So he called a meeting. Now, this is the meeting. So let me open up the video and then you see the photograph and you see it. So we're going to look at it from left to right. His Excellency Papa Osu Nkrumah, immediate past Ghana's High Commissioner to London, but of course former Attorney General and former Majority Leader in Parliament was there. You can see him here on the left. Next to him in the suit is Mr. Brian Achampong, who also received some prayers from the Presbyterian church leaders today. You can see Kennedy Ejapon whispering something to Brian Achampong's ear, and Brian is laughing. And you can see Joe Gate and Oseya Oduchum in a hearty chat. And here is Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. And near Alhaji Bawumia is another very respected industrialist, entrepreneur, and business thinker, Mr. Kwesi Abiesi, really the author of the Private Enterprise Foundation and many of the things that the private sector does. Even if you look at some of the institutions set up where you see that when they're putting the governing boards together, they always say that somebody from the private sector. Kwesi Abiesi and his friends did a lot at the beginning of 92-93 to shape up how good governance will work with private sector. He's a very avowed and astute private sector advocate. Kwesi Abiesi was there, and of course Dr. Dankwa was there. So this is what happened. The meeting was closed door. We didn't hear what they said. We don't know what they said, but it looked like it's a meeting that will continue. Here you can see it, the profile of everyone who attended the meeting. Wafa Kwame Pianim, as we call him here, is over there. And that's why we're showing you videos of Kwame Pianim speaking to us in our last documentary on Riakoto. Wafa Kwame Pianim is here. Papa Osu Nkrumah, HE, is a former High Commissioner. Brian Achampong, he likes to be called the new kid on the block, the new entrance. He says that he's not just there to participate, he's there to win. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, the presidential candidate of the NPP in the 2024 election. Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, also in there. Joe Gate in the smoke. Oseya Oduchum. I think some aspirants are missing. Is it Kwame Ejapong? Kwame Ejapong is missing. I'm yet to find out why he wasn't there. And Kwesi Abiesi. So Kwame Pianim's initiative it seems to be very commendable because this is the first time that an elder of the party, many NPP insiders I've spoken to have been worried about where are the elders of the party, where's Akufo-Addo, where's Kufuor, etc. Last night, in an interview on CTTV, the Honorable Leonard Patrick Boama told Bernard Avle that he thinks that President Kufuor and Nana Akufo-Addo should intervene to put it together. I'm not sure what the intervention is for because these things happen. I mean, I've covered political primaries all the time. These things happen. It's going to happen. People are going to get to each other's throats. The important thing is the value of what they say and the longevity of that in people's minds. That's the most important thing. Whatever you say about an opponent, how long does it stay in people's mind? Of what effect could it be? What ramifications could it bring to the main contest? Those are the key things. But to ask people not to cut each other's throats, that's going to be very tough because they are going to do it. And it's a people business. A lot of people. Dr. Bawumia is in Accra. Somebody is speaking for him in Wale Wale. The person goes to say something. He may not have immediate control over it. But it's good that the leaders show these kinds of posturing. Because when the followers see these things, hopefully it has an impact on them. Hopefully it has an impact on them. But this is what happened today. Kwame Pianim steps in to occupy a gaping hole in the NPP leadership situation. I can understand why President Kufuor may not be in a hurry to come in unless he is tacitly invited. And Nana Akufo-Addo he's being blamed for everything that happened. So unless he is pulled in, he may keep his wisdom to himself. He'll be advising people here and there. But so Kwame Pianim was actually the right person to actually put this forum together. And I understand that it just started today. It's going to go on until January when the primaries occur. So Kwame Pianim is sacrificing himself, his time, his vision, his understanding, his knowledge, and his experience to guide the NPP heated, very, very heated presidential race, which is set to occur on January 31. Tonight we will be talking to you about the changes that were made and all of that, because people still seem not to understand what is happening. The Congress for July 19th is not going to discuss the date of the NPP Congress. That has already been settled. According to the rules, it is settled by the National Council, and that's it. It's a fait accompli. So on 31st January, the elections will occur, unless and until the National Council itself changes it. As it is, it doesn't appear that the National Council will change it, because the decision was unanimously carried by the National Council. It's unlikely that they're going to change it. What may change, and what is left to the Congress to decide, is the size of the Electoral College. The size of the Electoral College is what is coming up for voting on the 19th of July here in Accra. But the date of the Congress is settled. So all things being equal, on 31st January, these gentlemen will be slugging it out with each other to determine who becomes the MPP's flag bearer for the 2028 election. I saw a post from Franklin Kudjo today that was quite interesting. He asked that, has the 2028 election dates been moved forward? And it's very interesting, because he's wondering why there's so much political activity in the opposition party. But what can opposition parties do? They have to prepare themselves for the next election. This is very peculiar, and history will write it down whether the NPP was right in electing their candidate soon after the last election. If the NPP is successful in doing this, I'm sure it will become part of their political culture. When parties lose elections, they will want to elect their candidates, and they will say that the NPP did it and the NPP did it. Let's see what happens. So congratulations to all of them. Especially Wofa Kwame Pianim and Papa Usu Ankoma and Kwesi Abiesi. Congratulations to you for deciding. I'm not sure why Kwame Pianim selected Usu Ankoma and Kwesi Abiesi, but it looks like it's well thought through. Usu Ankoma has been majority leader. He's a member of parliament. He's been attendant general. He's been minister for interior. He served as high commissioner. So he kind of cuts across. He seems to know what is happening everywhere. He was a three-time member of parliament for the Second Day constituency until it was divided into Second Day and Isikado. Joe Garte was the Isikado MP, a very close friend of Papa Usu Ankoma. They were both in Second D. So also Osei Aweduchum is former minister for education. Kennedy Ojehine Japan is the only one who has not held a ministerial position. Historically, among the group here, it's only Kennedy who has not held a ministerial position. He must have done well to achieve such prominence in NPP without ever holding a ministerial position, shouldn't he? Yeah, so you can say that for him. Of course, Dr. Bawumia also has not held a ministerial position, but Dr. Bawumia is the one who has held the highest office in the land among the group. He was a vice president, a very distinguished one at that, and also the NPP's presidential candidate. So Dr. Bawumia is the only one here who has been on the ballot, isn't it? Yes, he's the only one who has been on the ballot. He was the NPP presidential candidate the last time. Brian Achampong, I spoke to him this afternoon, and I was congratulating him for submitting himself to the Presbyterian priest. We both went to Presec, and so we understand the Presbyterian code, and we exchanged a few Presbyterian conversations. Good evening to you, Brian. I called him up. I was very happy that he picked, because these guys are busy. Once I called, they rang twice, and he picked, and he said, hey, other day, we spoke about that. So Papa Usu Ankoma, I will be speaking to soon, because when he was in London, whenever I go there, I sit with him, and we had long conversations about politics. It was always a blessing to be with Usu Ankoma in his official home in London, and we had very long conversations about politics, going late into the night. And he will always come and see me off, and we talked a lot of NPP and NDC politics. Maybe sometime I'll share with you. Papa Usu Ankoma, thank you very much, and congratulations. Kwesi Abiesi has also been in there. He was chairman of the GIPC at some point. So let's see how these things continue. Let's see what is going to happen. But it's important for the elders in the big political parties, when these things happen, they have to step in. The NDC is stable right now. Of course, a party in power will usually be stable. But when they have their problems, I'm sure the elders will solve it. The NPP is in turmoil, and that's why Kwame Pianim stepped in. Let's see whether his efforts will yield anything.